Yeah.
Welcome to the setbreakerpod, and today we have a very, very special guest. We got Sammy Jimenez.
Almost.
Jimenez?
Jimenez.
Mia?
Mia?
What the fuck is that? I don't fucking know, dog. This shit. Anyways, yeah, Jimenez. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So, welcome to the podcast. And the reason why I wanted to bring you on is because you have very interesting viewpoints, which kind of goes against the current culture, right? That's popular in a sense, which is you're Mexican American, and you're 25, and you believe in traditional relationships like marriage, and you also agree with like red pill philosophy, right?
Yeah, I would say, the red pill sphere, manosphere, I guess you could also call it. I do have some core beliefs and understandings of it, but like anything, I don't categorize myself as necessarily being too red pill or in the manosphere because of that traditional sense. It just kind of gets put into that category. But I definitely have a strong influence from the Bible, from God, that kind of goes against even some of the red pill. Once you get down into the red pill ideals, it kind of separates from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's like certain things about the red. Like I didn't even know what red pill was until people called me red pill, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" So then I looked into it. But the movie The Matrix, right, red pill, blue pill. I thought they were talking about that at first, because then I kept saying you got to take the red pill, which means waking up out of the programming of society and just like going your own way.
Yeah.
As like an authentic human being, right?
Yeah, and I use it in that sense also. I think just the manosphere has categorized itself and labeled itself as being red pill, but I agree with you. Like when I think of red pill, it is a matrix, right? You're going to take the red pill or you're going to take the blue pill. So, and that's in a lot of different aspects that when I had my red pill experience, it was on all different levels, not necessarily just in the relationship. That just happens to be where, TikTok kind of got started. But I definitely have a lot of other red pill beliefs that don't just pertain to relationships.
Like what would that be, for instance?
You could talk about, politically, socially.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't
even
know.
Even in nutrition, fitness, just being aware of, like you said, getting out of the programming.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yes.
Okay, because I was like, how does red pill and dating tie in with it? I see what you mean. Just like unplugging from the matrix stuff. The mainstream.
Right.
The mainstream. Okay. So
not trying to be an Instagram copy version of somebody else.
Yeah,
like
posting half naked photos constantly to feel like, hey,
validation.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, do I exist?
Right.
Do I do that? What do you think when you see girls post like they have 100 photos straight in a row of bikini and then just showing their butt constantly?
First thing I think is they're probably making a good amount of money, or I hope they are.
Yeah. But if they're not making money,
if
it's not a business move, because I have friends who make business like doing that, and that's cool. But if they're not doing business, then it's
you're giving it all away for free. I don't really know what are you doing it for?
Yeah, why?
At least I'm not condoning it, but at least try to profit off of it. Invest that money.
Yeah.
But if you're not, I think it's a little, it's disappointing because they think that they're gonna actually be able to maintain their figure for years to come, and a lot of these women haven't really understood that. As you age, there's a lot of girls turning 18 every single day. You can be replaced in an instant. Beautiful women are everywhere, right? We're in LA. Like,
Damn.
Beautiful women are everywhere.
Yeah, you really are with red pill like that. I was like, whoa, you be talking like a dude right now. No, that's interesting. So the whole and that's even more interesting coming from like a woman's perspective, because like, you're around women, you are a woman, so you hear, what it's like, and you hear the conversations. So the whole being replaced by another like 18-year-old, like the cycle, that is like a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's a cycle that a lot of women are not, they're oblivious, first of all, but secondly, they just want to deny that it's true. Even though we all understand, as we get older, I'm 25 right now. I don't look the same as when I was 20 years old. I see these girls and they're, beautiful and young, and I'm like, dang, like I need to make sure I get my man right and make sure, I get a ring on it before he finds, some other girl that's more beautiful, or, you know, when I don't have the motivation to go to the gym, I'm like, no, you know what? I gotta keep myself in shape, and there's competition out there, and a lot of women don't see it that way. They think, you know, I am what I am. A man's either going to take me the way I am, or I'm going to find another man, and then you get older and you have fewer options.
So what
and then they're upset that they have fewer options.
And then what do they do when they're upset?
Get mad at me on TikTok.
Get mad at you. So what do you think about when they just like the whole denial thing? Where do you think that comes from?
Like them denying the aging
like that,
process?
The aging process mixed with them not doing, like, oh, I don't need to do nothing.
They don't want to compete.
They don't want to compete.
Yeah, I think they're intimidated by the fact that other women are willing to put themselves out there. And me, like, I'll use myself as an example. For me to say, you know what, I would like to be a housewife versus a woman who says, like, I want to be a businesswoman, you know, a career woman. And I'm willing to put myself on the line and, like, really humbled myself when I was going through this process, because I didn't just wake up one day and then, like, have all these change of beliefs. I really had to do some inner work to understand that probably career path was not, I was going that route, and it wasn't fitting for me. So I think it's you have to be ready to analyze yourself and process stuff that you had in your past that, honestly, a lot of women think that they just don't have those issues. I think most women should be in therapy. I think a lot of people in general, men and women. But I think women are allowed passes at their traumas that they haven't fully recovered from. They're not willing to compete. It's easier to just show up and be pretty and be like, why aren't you opening the door for me? Why aren't you pulling out the seat for me? Treat me like a woman. But you haven't validated yourself for a man to treat you, you know, put you on a pedestal if you don't deserve it. And they get mad when I say, I'm not perfect, you know, I'm still trying to learn and trying to evolve. And they're like, no, like, you should keep yourself where you are. Like, you're the prize. You know, I'm the table. When you ask somebody, like, when you ask a woman, like, what do you bring to the table? Like, I'm the table.
Yo, see, that's the problem with, it's not even like just a woman thing. It's a guy thing too. I feel like both sides are getting their shit fucked up, because there's a lot of guys that don't want to admit that life is competition. It is like selection, right?
Right.
So there's guys who don't want to work out or do, you know, better themselves or face the truth of who they are. Because you have to seek adversity, because adversity, what is it? Adversity introduces a man to himself, or a person to themselves. You know, because of that makes them, and that's where they can weaponize red pill, and then they go like black pill, which is like doom pill.
Right.
Which is essentially like, if you guys don't know, that's when you go like to the deep end of red pill, to where like now you hate women and you blame them for everything. But
that's real misogyny.
Yeah, that's like true misogyny. That's when, you know, like, people throw the term toxic masculinity around like it's fucking like gummy bears or some shit. But at that point, I don't know why it's a gummy bears, but at that point, don't look at me like that. Shut up. That's weird to say. Don't look at me like that. Shut up. He didn't even say nothing. Paul didn't even say anything. But what were you about to say?
No, I was going to talk about how weird you were, but yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for the alley-oop, man.
You're welcome. Let you slam down, Gummy Bear Boy.
But yeah, the fucking
toxic masculinity.
Yeah, the toxic masculinity, that is where the entitlement comes from. And like, why doesn't a woman just like me for me? Like, because they're hoes, this and that. It's like, no, you still have to put yourself out to a certain point and level up, because some girls say, I'm the table, I'm the prize. And there's guys that say, remember, you're the prize. Well, not always, you know. Yeah, you should be confident in yourself. Yeah, you should, no matter where you are. So, because that confidence can help you get to the gym and accept yourself, and, you know, but you're not going to always have that confidence, right? But, that's where I think, like, both people are like, I'm the shit and you ain't shit, then that doesn't fix anything, and you're not being real, you know?
Yeah, it's a you got to have a good characteristics about yourself, and then the relationship will come. The person that you want to attract will come if you're all your boxes are in order, like personally, then you're going to be able to, as a man. I mean, I'm not a man, but that's what makes
you can be anything you want
right.
to be.
You're right.
If you want, I can do anything. You can do better. You can do anything. Well, I fucked it up. I can do anything. You remember that commercial? I can do. It was Michael Jordan and the soccer player Mia Hamm. I can do anything, you can do better. I can. Man, fuck, I give up. I don't know.
It was close.
Yeah, that's close enough. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
I'm not a man, obviously, but I know what attracts a woman to a man, and seeing a man who, you know, has himself in order. I was just talking about this, like what really makes a man so attractive is when he has a goal, and like a woman, whether she's there or not, if he's really interested in her and she's going to help him get to that goal, if she's going to be a willing participant and contribute to that goal, great, we're on board, you know. But if she's not, he knows, you know what, this is still going to get done regardless if you're here or not. So I think that type of man that I'm talking about, you know, he takes care of himself. Like I'm visualizing like what type of man that is, and he takes care of himself. His emotions are, you know, he understands his emotions. He's in tune with what he is and what he's not. He knows what his weaknesses are, and, you know, is confident in the person that you are. That doesn't mean that you have to be like, you know, a bodybuilder. It's a progression of, you know, physical, emotional, spiritual, and a woman's very attracted to that, even if she kind of denies it. Maybe she won't say it.
Yeah,
it's
like
an
says
instinct.
It, then yeah. Where do you think that instinct comes from? You think it's like, oh, I don't want to be too easy. I don't want to be like that.
What do you mean?
Like admitting that that's a thing that they're attracted to.
Because
some women, at least.
I see. Because women, a lot of women today, have so much masculinity in them that they're threatened when they see that the other person, the man, has the masculine roles and he's confident. He's like, no, you're gonna, you know, I'm the man here. You need to put aside your masculine traits and let me lead. Women want to be the ones that are leading today. And if a masculine man knows what he wants, he's not going to let her lead.
That's true. And that's where, because I've dated some girls where I thought they had more feminine energy, you know, and then the masculine energies would come up because just by default of maybe their work or, you know, how things are, and it would cause problems, you know, like there would be some clashing of you know, like who leads who, whatever, this and that. And, you know, but that's also on me for not being able to see that. And then some people say, well, like real men should be able to handle any woman. And to me, that's not always the case because some women have more masculine energies. Because even in like, let's say, like gay relationships, there's always like even that the whole masculine feminine dynamic is even prevalent in the
it's a great example.
Gay relationships too, right?
Yeah.
You know, I have friends, they tell me these things too. We talk about this.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it is definitely possible, but as a woman in like a career role, which is like pretty often today, like you need to have dual incomes. Yeah. Especially if you're here in California, the woman, let's just say like, for example, she is in like a management role in her job and her husband, you know, is successful as well, but she comes home and she's still in that role. She's still in that like managerial.
Yeah. Can she leave that at work?
Can you leave that at work?
Yeah.
And can you let your man lead? And then you take into consideration, you know, if that woman, if she is making more money than him, you know, that can seep into the relationship as well. And like, how confident is a man in himself and having a woman that makes more income than him? True. And then she's gonna come home and be like, I work all day and then I have to come home and I still have to work. It's another job to come home and maintain the home and cook. If you got kids, that's a whole nother story. You're working 2 jobs, you're making more money than your man, and you're still bossing him around when you get home. It's dysfunctional. And then people wonder why they get older, and the woman's like, I just don't love him anymore. Mm-hmm. It's sad, really, because a lot of women fall into that. They don't see that the man needs to have those masculine traits. If he doesn't have them, then, you know, you should catch those in the beginning of the relationship, or as a man, be able to check her when things come up. That way she knows, oh, that's the line. Got to go back.
Yeah, like the boundaries, right? Because there's been relationships I've been in where I was such a little bitch. I was a bitch because I was like, if I agree to everything, she let me play with her box of wonders, right? But like that's when like
right.
That's when they don't respect you.
Right.
Because you're being a little slave and you don't stand up for yourself. Anybody in any dynamic, it's not even just like between a man and a woman and dating and all that. And even in friendships, if you're a little bitch and you're trying to do everything for them just to get them to like you, they like almost resent you. They're like, why are you being so whack?
Right.
Like why?
Yeah.
Stand up for yourself. Say no for once in a while or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's also like a respect thing. If you don't, as a man, like respect yourself, how are you gonna expect a woman to respect you? Why should she? I'm gonna say even submit to you if you don't respect yourself.
Yeah, that's when the entitlement comes in. If they're like, oh, like women should just know their place. It's like you got to kind of earn that too.
Right.
In a way, if you can't, like you said, like check the person when you need to check them, you know, and then and when you do that, they will get turned on.
Yeah.
Like I've seen that. Paul's seen it. Dude, like, what, dude, Paul spit on his girlfriend's face one time because she's like, I love you. He's like, and she's like, oh my God. He's like, why'd you do that? He's like, I told you never to say I love you in public. And she was like, oh, baby, that's hot. Yeah, Paul did that.
Is that a true story?
No, it's not a true story.
He's just changing the people I spit on Mike's face.
Yeah, and then I said, "Ooh, baby, that's fucking fire."
I asked him if my breath stank, and I spit on his face.
Yeah, and then I used my index finger, and then I swabbed it, and I went, and I was like, "Damn, that shit smells like fucking 5-week-old frijoles, dog." And I like frijoles.
That's just what best bros do, though. You know, you gotta
Right. Smell each other's spit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You took this down a weird turn.
No, I didn't.
I took this down a weird turn.
No, you didn't. You took it perfect, exactly where it needed to be.
All right.
Yeah. So here's
Sam's here. Let's not have this moment.
Hey,
Let's
hey,
not.
man, sometimes I need those moments, all right?
I'll let you guys have a moment alone when I'm gone.
Romance. Dude, I forgot she was here for a second.
Yeah,
God damn,
yeah,
man.
I know.
Dude, I was getting kind of hot. Woo! Anyways, so come in. Oh, God. Dude, I sent you the video. How did you not know where the fuck it was?
Oh,
man?
you didn't tell me which door. Hey,
I said the big
Hi.
door.
Hey,
Here,
man.
come through. Come in.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Is it a lot of religion? You're Mexican.
I'm
Because you
Mexican,
asked me
yeah.
if I was Mexican.
Yeah. Yeah, I am religious, but that really didn't come till during COVID, actually.
So is that when you got more into the, I guess, like the red pill type of mentality?
The red pill.
Because those tie in. Religion and that is like more, one could argue it's kind of like more conservative in a way,
It
right?
definitely is.
Right.
The red pill is actually very conservative, like you said, and it's traditional. The red pill is traditional. You mix in a lot of other things in there. They mix in a lot of crazy stuff in there, but I think to its core, it is the foundation is biblical. That's why my influence, I try not to even watch too many other creators because mine doesn't come from what they're saying. Mine comes from the Bible. Not directly. I have my twist on it and it being, technology being added in and stuff like that. But I think the foundation is, the tradition is God, man, woman, children. That's like in itself. So
Oh wow, God, man, woman. So you do believe that? Because I feel like the hater comments you got was like, oh, so you think all men are greater than women? Like, what's your take on that in terms of like God, man?
Not every man. Not
Yeah.
every man is deserving of having a woman, like we said, having a woman that's going to like if a guy doesn't have his stuff together, why would I want to be with him? Why would I want to respect him or like
True.
take care of him, submit to him?
I'm curious, what type of guy do you like? Like, what are the criteria? What are the boxes that you have to check before?
Somebody who takes
Submit to him? You
Yeah.
would you like to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely. That's big for me. Type of man,
Yeah.
like characteristics, I would
Characteristics.
say. Hardworking. I get my influences from my dad. Like my dad is an amazing man. So when I envision like what my future husband would look like,
Wait, what's an amazing man?
he's hardworking. He doesn't complain. He's a provider. He
He doesn't complain?
No, he doesn't complain.
Does he get mad?
He gets very mad. He has anger issues, but he never complains. He
Yeah.
has his issues.
Right.
There was-
Everybody does.
There was a time where I, didn't have my dad during my teenage years. I really didn't. I didn't have my dad. We
Me
didn't have a
neither.
relationship.
Where was your dad?
He was around, but my parents split up,
Okay.
and he has been an alcoholic for a long time. So at that point, it was really bad.
So you're like amazing, like don't complain, provide. You could hit me sometimes. You could be angry, but just don't complain.
I mean, that's just more so like in the having a good work ethic, having
Yeah,
a good work
That's
ethic.
really important to you.
And I'm big on talking about men's like emotional stability as well.
The centeredness, because that's what I think separates. You could be rich, you could be successful, but if you don't know how to handle your own emotions and then you like flip out and you're not in control, then who can trust you?
Yeah.
Right? And especially a woman that's
Right.
dating you.
Yeah, because you think
Could you
about it-
trust your dad?
Absolutely, yeah.
Even though he has anger issues, you're
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. I mean, that's something that was a transition for me as well. I had to let go and forgive him for a lot of stuff that happened when I was a kid.
Right.
For me to not be, because I was very angry towards men. Like the women that I talk about, I used to be her. I used to be resentful. I used to be angry. I used to be like very combative with men.
So that's why you're coming from a personal place of understanding. So you were saying something though, off of the centeredness.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, a man who's balanced. Like I said, if he has a goal, he knows what he's getting. I wanna roll with it. I wanna say, okay, let's do it together.
Yeah.
I want to be able to, because he already knows what he's gonna do. If that aligns with my values, my ideals, my beliefs, that's like the Bible says so. That's like the ideal way to go about it.
Yeah. So
I
I'm
don't
curious.
question it.
Yeah, because you trust them, so you
Because-
don't feel like you have to trust. But there's got to be times where you like. There's gonna be moments when a man feels weak, and he's not exactly at his best.
I love this conversation because I was just talking about this, and it's a balance for a man to be able to show vulnerability to his woman, because the woman's essence is like, you're allowed to breathe. Like if you're in her presence and you really, trust her, you can be vulnerable with her. You can kind of like let your guard down. Okay, it's okay. We're
that's
together. But
that's a balance too, because if we're always showing you the vulnerability, then you're like, oh, he's a weak man. He's always
right. So when there's issues that arise, like if he has issues at work or whatever, he can say, you know what, like it's good communication for him to say, you know what, I'm having some issues, this and that, but it's okay, I got it handled. Because the moment that the woman feels some sense of doubt that he can provide, all she has to do, she knows she has the power as far as she could just hop on Instagram. She's got guys in her DMs waiting.
Right, and then post on a story of just like, making like a duck lips, and I've seen that shit. You can tell what is going through like a girl's mind based off of how she posts on social media. Because like social media, why are you making that face? You okay?
No, well, I was just really intrigued from.
That's why you're super like into it, right? Right? Because I was like, is he mad? Is he pissed off?
Like, what's going on?
Yeah, right.
No.
But
There's a lot to digest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it is a language. You can tell exactly what's going through. Guys, you can see how they're fucking feeling, and like if they want attention or, and then that's when if you got a boyfriend, if the girl has a boyfriend, I'm like, okay, what's going on now? Like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could DM her. I mean, I'm not. I don't do that stuff, but like I think
Right.
she wants guys to DM her.
Exactly. And so, and she knows that. Like, come on,
Yeah.
she knows that.
But they act like they don't if you
They
call
act
them
like
out.
they don't.
Yeah.
They act like we all know. Yes, you got guys waiting, and if she, like I said, if she has any sense of doubt, oh, maybe I picked the wrong one. Maybe the other guy who's been trying to take me out for months.
Dude, that's why
he makes more money. He's tall. He's attractive. He goes to the gym.
and he wants me.
Yeah.
See, you know what I flash back to? My last girlfriend, she was Mexican. Still is Mexican.
She still is.
Didn't change. But she
She's Russian now.
yeah, she's Russian now. Yeah. She went
She's
from
fighting a
like
war.
hola to nozdrovia. She dude, she posted on her Instagram story fucking like looking all cute, like a selfie, and then she put the carpets match the drapes. Because there was like drapes behind her.
Right.
But I'm like, that's still like a sexual
That's a sexual.
thing. And I was like, dude, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
she wouldn't post that stuff normally.
Well, is that wrong? Do you feel like that's wrong? I mean, it's messed up if it was like if
It's
she
not
did
a
it
normal
too soon.
thing. That's what
Normal?
I'm- no, she doesn't normally post stuff
Oh,
like
normal.
that.
Okay, but
So
she
I
just-
asked her, I was like, hey, why did you, I'm just curious. Like,
But
why
that's
did
after she broke up with you, though.
No,
You guys broke up or whatever.
I don't give a fuck if she did it after. Dude, if she could do whatever fuck, dude, she could suck 20 dicks. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't talk as soon as we broke up, but when we were together, she posted that, and I was like,
Well, you guys were together when she posted.
we
that.
were together.
Okay.
So and I think some girls do that to check if how much does the guy really care. Also, like they almost want the jealousy to like, hey, like why are you like, 'Cause-
Yeah.
A little bit of that is necessary.
But
though,
I
feel
didn't like that way though. I didn't think it had to be like that.
But that's just how she does it.
And that's
You
why
have
we're
it?
not together.
Yeah.
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 Because I don't like that shit.
So what did she say when you asked her why?
She said, "Oh, it's just a joke. It's just like whatever. It's just I was just kidding. Like it's a joke." But I'm like, "But you never did anything like that before. If it was like a normal thing where she do it like here and there, I
It's
wouldn't
not out
question
of
it.
character. It's not.
It was out of character.
Well, how
Yeah.
long have you guys been together? Like, how guys you known each other before she did that? Like, if it was like 4 months, I'm like, okay, she's just exploring stuff. But if you guys know, if you've known each other for like a year, and then she just
No, we were friends for like a couple years before,
Okay, then
and the
yeah.
relationship was 2 years overall.
Oh, got it. Then yeah,
You see what
then
I'm getting at?
that's weird.
So
yeah.
I've seen the way she posts on social media.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's patterns of,
Yeah.
Of
of
course.
posting and behavior,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah, and then the proof is in the pudding with the fucking things like that. But
Isn't it funny? I like it.
it's great, right?
That's a good
I
one.
learned it from a Vietnamese girl. Anyways, even though it's like an American fucking thing. So yeah, like the whole attention seeking thing. But also, you know, we all kind of want attention to a certain point. But I think there's a point where it's like
Women
It's
have
not
so much
good.
access, you know? Like, why would she want to go out with the guy down the block when she has the guy in New York who's trying to fly her out? You know, it's like there's so much access. You can be like a Midwest girl and not have any men accessible around you, but you can get flown out to another country.
by posting on Instagram,
By
looking
posting on
banging as
Instagram.
fuck, and then yeah, you're right. Somebody will because like we don't get shit like that.
No.
You know, do you get stuff DMs like that?
To be like, fly me out.
No, that you're just like, hey, I want to fuck you. I want to suck your dick.
Right.
I have, but not regularly. Like maybe the last time it was probably like 4 years ago.
Right. So
Yeah.
we have gotten it before, but like nowhere near the way.
No
level
way. Are you
women
kidding me?
No
These
way.
people are fucking
Women are-
getting it.
Mexican
I
girls.
said these people.
Mexican girls.
Excuse me.
No.
Whoa.
People have daddy issues. No, I get it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but you know, like the whole that's the interesting thing though, that your dad, you respect him, he is somebody you looked up to that helped you look for like what certain qualities you do like in a man, but at the same time you saw some of the faults in his character, which is like, you know, my dad too, and then you know we can say that for your dad as well. Do you respect your dad?
Yeah, really, very much.
Right, even though he did
Very
some
much.
fucked up shit and my dad did some fucked up shit,
Yeah.
like a lot of fucked up shit, I still respect the work ethic and things
Right.
that he was doing as an immigrant.
Yeah, you don't throw everything out just
Exactly.
for,
Wait,
right.
how old were you when you immigrated here?
No, my parents. My
We're-
parents.
No, because you're talking about immigrants. So I
No,
thought you were too.
I'm
He's
saying
talking
our
about his
parents are
parents.
immigrants.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I
am
figure
too.
you're an immigrant. No,
Yeah, I'm
he's
an
an
immigrant.
immigrant.
Yeah,
Yeah, so but you were born here.
I was
though.
born here. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My,
But you're still American though.
Yeah, I'm
So
American.
you understand
I'm Taiwanese. Yeah.
immigrant parents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
and the values, the traditions that come with that. Yeah, of course. And that's also, it is a very traditional culture. You
Mexican
know?
is
Yeah.
very there's like machismo factor as
Yeah,
well.
and that's a lot of backlash I get too from women that are Hispanic, that are, how could you know what men have done to, our aunts and our uncles. And
Damn, they
stuff
just
like
group
that.
everybody and say it. So they're not even like separating. Like each thing is different. It's not just all women, all men. And I feel like when you do that, that's when you get into trouble. And then and that's where the lack of awareness comes in, and why people that think like that will never be in a healthy relationship.
Yeah, I agree.
So
It's
wait,
generalizing.
what is this thing that you getting in trouble? Is just they don't like the way that you operate and the way that you
No,
see
so she gets
relationships?
basically, like, to sum it up, she gets in trouble on the internet because she posts videos talking about how she believes in like tradition. The man should lead and women should
be
follow,
feminine.
be
she should
feminine
be following
energies.
his lead.
Well, some people like that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm trying to.
No, just people that hate that she's saying that, because
Yeah.
today's culture is kind of against it.
Right. So what are you trying to?
Well, ideally, the audience that I would like to reach are like young women that haven't been completely brainwashed by society, by social media, by even the college institutions.
When you say brainwash, you mean like how normally women are treated today?
Just as far as you're not every woman is gonna fit into that. Go to college, get a good job, and then focus on your career, and then maybe consider starting a family when you're in your early 30s. There's women out there that are. Because that was me. I was like, this doesn't really feel right. Once I accepted that, I was like, no, my job, my path isn't to go and get a good job. My job is to be a good wife and a good mother.
Yeah, some people like that, and that's
But-
okay.
But women don't like that I thought feminism was about equal opportunity.
Yeah.
But it's not.
That's really cool because in the really beginning, it's like the norm, the general is like how you are. Women is how you are. But then it swung so much to the other side, where to the extreme.
It's
but
so far that way now.
Yeah, but I think
yeah,
it's
like
really
radical feminism,
Right.
And everything's like there's a lot of radical everything one could say, right? Even with like the red pill like shit.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
I was talking to a comic today that I feel like you always have to preface something like, oh, you know, oh, I'm not talking about everybody, just this person
right.
or this type
Right.
of. But it's like that's so stupid. Like, you know what we're talking about, because in general, Mexican culture or even a lot of Asian culture is that some women still like to be with a man that and then do house chores,
Right.
and because that's their dream. They want to be a good mom and good
Right.
wife, and I think in general that's still it. That
Right.
is still the culture. So when you go like, hey man, that's cool. Like it's stupid that people give you backlash. It's like, yeah, you believe in another thing, and that's cool too.
Right.
For
Well,
you,
I think that's especially prevalent in like American culture though. Like
Yeah.
American culture is the whole like all like girls just be a boss ass bitch. Like don't let any man tell you anything.
Never
and
rely
then,
on a man.
Yeah, so the ones that if there is a girl like a woman that wants to, you know, do something like what you want to be, like they
Right.
just want to be like a mom and have kids, and then the girls are like, girl, you gotta aim higher, and then they start feeling guilty and resentful, and
Apparently I hate myself because I want to, you know, raise healthy functioning adults one day. Like I want to have my contribution to having healthy children.
Yeah, because there's also a lot of single moms right now, and that shit, and they don't want to be moms, and dude, I have friends that would leave their babies at home with their like mom and whatever to go out and party and get fucked up to like try to feel like good and get that attention and shit, and like neglecting their child.
Right.
And there's single moms that crush it, but there's also a lot that fucking neglect their kids, and they just, you know, they're trying to get, you know, then they post sexy photos trying to get like a guy's attention to feel like relevant and stuff.
Single parent households are so detrimental to children. They're higher risk for being in poverty, not getting the resources that they need, lower income, you know, like people want to deny that that's true, but it's not. It is very true. And then, you know, for what? The satisfaction of like going out for a night to act like you're 21? Like you got a baby at home.
But you know what though? I give them the benefit of the doubt just because it's like they do need the attention for their insanity, and maybe they made a mistake. And
not all women are meant to be mothers or are going to be.
Yeah.
And don't need to be mothers.
True.
And not all men need to be fathers, because I know some shitty ass dudes with kids, and I'm like, dog, you should have never.
Not
had
everybody
a kid.
needs a kid. Not everybody needs.
But some guys do that.
Yeah.
And I know this one guy in particular. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was like, if I have this kid, it's gonna make me better. And I was like very honest. I said, look, we were roommates. I said, look, man, it's not gonna make you better, because I know you and you're lazy as fuck, and you're gonna keep being lazy as fuck. Fast forward to like 5-6 years later, the kid's like 6, whatever, lazy as fuck, doesn't want to help. Like they had problems, split up, and he doesn't even want to pay for diapers. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not friends with him now because I don't respect him as a man. If you have a kid, dude, whatever, your relationship, I don't give a fuck what happened with that. Good for you, whatever. Good for you, but it didn't work out. Fine.
Good for you.
I don't, that's such an asshole. You good for you, fucking pussy. But no, it's like, take care, man up, take care of your fucking child, dude, because that's on you.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? It's like sometimes I feel like a lot of, because maybe a lot of immigrant fathers or parents, even if they're single or whatever, it's like sometimes they can't be around just so that they could provide.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So maybe that is a thing too. I don't want to just like dismiss every father or mother that is like, oh, wasn't there in their life, but they're actually doing the best. And some parents leave just for the better for their kids. You know what I mean? And some of the, it's because of me.
No, because the first half was my dad.
Yeah.
And the second half was your dad.
No, I was just talking in general. Like
I know, but that's where my brain went, right?
Yeah,
Because your parents were gone for like what, fucking 15 years, 2-3 years they were there and left 15 years.
Yeah, for a while.
So that my dad, he was there, but he wasn't there.
Yeah.
He was a workaholic. He was always working. Didn't go to holidays. Didn't go any of that. So it was almost as if, and when he was there, he would punish me.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't really connect. So like it felt like, it still made me want to find that connection with like older dudes, which led me doing drugs and stuff, because I thought like I wanted to be a gangster and all that shit. That's like a whole nother thing we don't need to talk about. But yeah, like, but as I got old, or he passed away like 11 years ago, I learned to respect him over time because I saw that he did what he could, because I didn't see as a kid all the things that he had on the plate. The eldest son in Korean culture has to take care of everybody. So he had to take care of the
Same with Latin
parents.
culture, right?
Not really.
No,
I don't know.
I don't really hear that too much.
Okay.
Yeah, but like the parents, which is my grandparents, his like youngest brother, who's like got like some mental stuff, and then take care of the house on top of all our other family stuff too. So like that was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's some
Yeah,
man
when
shit.
we realize that like our parents are just people.
Yeah.
It's easier to, like, for me, I had to go through that, you know? Why am I going to hold on to all this anger that they were just trying to do their best? Like, yeah, they didn't do it very well, you know? I could have managed myself better. How do I know that?
Yeah.
I don't know that. I don't know what they went through. You don't know what, you know, they went through when coming to a whole nother country. And I actually just was having a conversation with my dad about this just the other night. And I heard him say for the first time, like, I hope he does. I don't think he'll mind if I say this. He's very open. That's why I'm very open myself. But he said that a big issue that he had when he came here was him having his accent when he was speaking to clients, because he was starting his own business. And he'd say, like, drinking was a way of coping, that he didn't feel so nervous and then, like, being judgmental because he was trying to sell them a product. He was trying to sell them a service. Wow. And they were going to judge him based off of, like, his English not being very good because he came...
People do that. I understand that.
Right. And I didn't know that. I'm like, wow, you know, I never heard him say that. So, yeah, our parents are just people, and we just happen to be their children.
Yeah, because, I mean, I'm born here, and if I stutter or say like too many times, I'm like, oh, shit. So imagine you having an accent, and you're constantly like, are they going to make fun of me? What are they thinking? They don't respect me. Because that is a thing.
Right,
that does happen if you have an accent. I mean, when you first came here, you had a strong accent?
Yeah, of course.
Like, how bad was it? Can you imitate it?
Hello, everybody. My name is... No, of course not.
It was pretty bad, right?
No, of course not. No, you know what? I always try to not assimilate in all the cultures and also in the accent, just so that people don't make fun of me. And people still do, and that's okay. But when it comes to money, I could see how that could be more stressful than it would be if it's just like a hanging out, having a friend thing, because it cuts into putting food on the table for your family, you know?
Right.
So that would stress me out more for sure.
That does make sense. So because you didn't have to take care of me, but because you're a kid, you just were like...
But that was still, I mean...
But you were self-conscious about it, weren't you?
Yeah, of course. It was, everybody's sensitive level is different. But for me, it's like, no, dude. But, you know, also, there's a lot of, it doesn't matter who, like what group of people. If you're an immigrant, a lot of people like just hang out in that specific group, and they don't go and like try to fix their accent, or even they go, oh, I'm comfortable here. And I didn't want to be that. And I got judged for that too. They're like, oh, Jason think he's better because he has white friends. And it's like, no, dude, I just also,
That's great that you hung out with a bunch of gay Asian people. I appreciate that.
Yeah, because I want to see if my asshole feels nice. Yeah, like, it's you know what I mean? And then they put it in a couple times. I go, oh my God, that hurts. But then the third time, I'm like, ooh.
That's right.
Yeah,
like, just relax. Pretend you're pooping and it'll enter.
Yeah.
How do I know that? Because I stuck a pinky up my ass when I was on XC. Anyway, so I was tweaked out. I don't do drugs anymore. But anyway, so yeah, that's. But how did that conversation come up with your dad to even reveal that? Because I feel like even, especially as like a Mexican man or whatever, and any like immigrant man who's like with that culture of, you know, like masculinity.
Right.
Like, how would that even come out? Was he drinking too when that came out?
No, we were having dinner. But we have conversations like this all the time.
Wow,
you know, we have conversations. He's very open about like his sobriety now that he's sober.
He's like sober.
He's sober for He's sober. I want to say 4 years.
Damn, that's good.
Right, yeah.
Shit. Wait, so but how did you get to the like
that
what brought that out? But that didn't come up before in the 4 years, right? Is it the first time?
I never heard him say that before. No, I had never that. I don't know. It never came up. But he likes to. I think it's a way of him coping with him.
Just talking about it.
Just talking about it.
That's great.
Yeah, he's in AA, so he's very open about conversations that he, you know, I kind of messed up doing this when I was drinking. I think he's doing it for himself.
And also another thing is like people that are in the older generation, they don't really know how to express themselves or articulate their feelings because for the longest time they use alcohol and anger to express, you know, whatever to just.
And those two combined together
is the even worse.
It's not a good thing.
So that's really nice. The AA, I think it helped a lot of people to start a conversation with themselves. Yeah.
I mean, trust me, it gets a lot for me because I'm like, dude, I lived it. You know, I know what I went through when you were going through that. So hearing it from another perspective, I'm like, okay, you know, I'm glad you're feeling better, but I didn't really feel like talking about this right now. But you know, I'm glad you feel better. It's fine. Yeah. You know, I'd rather that than him go out and start drinking again. Yeah,
because here's the thing. At least because the good, I had to learn to forgive him after he died. I had to it took me 8 years to figure that out, and even but your dad being alive and being able to work that out while he's alive, I think. But the tough part of that as well is there's still that deep rooted resentment that you have to work through, right? Because that was years of some tough shit.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it was I just asked God to let go of that anger for me. Yeah. It was a process. It definitely is, but I don't think that I have that resentment anymore. That's good because it was at first I resented him. And I'm like, dude, he's dead. What the fuck? Just figure it out. Yeah. So that kind of made it easier because the way you worked it out in person, but I'm just all right, I could just look at his tombstone. He ain't gonna talk back. For real, I was just
just cussing him out.
Yeah, I was like, man, fuck you. And I'm like, why'd you do that? I love you. What the fuck? And then I couldn't find his grave one time, and then I was gonna leave. And then I found a different Asian guy's grave, and I was about to do that too. It was to him. No. I was about to do that instead, and then and then some people are listening to this and they're like, oh, what the fuck, because some people say all Asians look the same. Well, you know what? All tombstones look the same too. Sorry, I had to throw in that bit right there. That's a good bit. That's a good bit. Thank you. That's a good bit. I figured out the punch to that. I just figured it out a week ago.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, you gotta let go of it. You gotta let it go. And that was part of my process. And if I didn't imagine if I hadn't let that go, I wouldn't be talking about women should trust men. No, I was like, you should never trust a man because look at what happened to me. You need to get, as women, and I say this all the time, we need to get over those issues. The next man who could potentially be a good fit for you, you're going to sabotage it because you haven't resolved stuff that happened to you before.
That's so true. What?
Sorry.
Yeah, hold that thought. That's so true about the whole... That's so true because the resentment towards the parent, that directly seeps into how you date and how you view the prospects. Because even for me, I heavily resented my mom for so long because I didn't really realize it until my dad died and I worked through it. But I was like, where were you when he was hitting you, hitting me, and doing crazy shit and going nuts? I blamed her and this and that. And also I was also emulating him. Not I wasn't hitting women, but I was kind of blaming them because my dad would blame my mom when
you were hitting your mom too.
Yeah, I was like, hey, where's the kimchi? No, I was like, no, but fucking yeah. I lost my train of thought. What did I say? Oh yeah. So once I learned to work on that and hold myself accountable, right? Then I was able to heal things with my mom, and we have a way better relationship. And then that directly helped my dating.
And that can also be in terms of your ex. Just because my ex hypothetically cheated on me doesn't mean that my future boyfriend would cheat on me. It's just that you can't just associate mistakes that other people have made with somebody who you don't know.
But you don't carry that. You don't carry that from your past ex to your future.
You're aware of it, but I don't think it's not right or healthy to.
That's really nice.
Assume that this other person's going to do that. If they haven't shown characteristics that's who they are, then that's more on you that you chose them.
That's really mature of you, and that's really understanding of you because I feel like a lot of people, women or men, one time they get cheated, they go, oh, "Fucking men are garbage."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But also the other thing that people do is if they don't have the self-awareness to figure out why they're attracted to a certain type of person, they'll keep dating the same type of person. And for instance, if you are attracted to the type of person who cheats, but you're not looking for a guy that cheats, but there's like certain qualities about them that is
Yeah.
familiar, and you keep doing that, they're all gonna cheat.
Right.
And you're gonna say all men ain't shit, or if you date a woman, and then you're like, oh, women are just whores because they just suck all my homies' dicks. It's like, well, first of all, you should think about the girls you're dating
Right.
and attracted to, and second
my
of all, you
homies'
should look
dicks.
at you should also do a vetting process of your homies, because it's like, hey, why are you letting her suck your dick, dog? What the fuck? And you gotta look at yourself and be like, why do you have no standards, like
Yeah.
boundaries for yourself? Because you,
Why does this keep happening to
yeah,
me?
why are you still friends with him after she said, you know, like they did that shit. And again, accountability and
It's all about accountability, and women don't like that. They don't like personal accountability. What do you mean I have to take responsibility for my actions? Like, it'll help. I promise.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Would you be okay with your husband or your boyfriend cheating? Not that
That's-
okay, but
Right.
how would you feel about
That's
that?
a big red pill thing too. They say, "Oh, a high value man is allowed to explore his options," is what they call it. Like,
Yeah,
he's
because
allowed
you're
to cheat.
you're so in a way where like, oh, I want to take care, I want to be a good wife. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And high
But
value.
then that's
man,
not cheating then.
Does that? No, that's what
If
I'm
the
saying.
girl's
Like,
aware
how
of
do you-
it.
Understanding,
not cheating.
She
Yeah.
knows,
Yeah.
yeah, she knows what's going on.
Yeah.
She knows.
Well,
what's
where
up.
do you stand on
Oh
that?
no, that I wouldn't. And then that's more like my beliefs from God.
Right. What if they did it? So you, for example, you
Without
have
her
two kids.
knowing?
If that was
No. So without you knowing, he did it,
Mhm.
and then you caught him, right?
Yeah.
But you guys have two kids. You've been together 5 years now, and your kids are like 2 and 3. What, like, would you? He did it, and he's like, nah, I'm not gonna do it again. But and then he provides, he respects you. He never, like, when you guys are out, he's never like, fuck this bitch. He's always putting you up. This is my wife. Do you know what I mean? And then you caught him, and then you're like, oh, fucking. How would you feel? And what's your? How would you take that? Where would you take it?
I would say, I'm dating to marry.
No,
right
you guys
now.
are married.
No, I know, but
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
talking like from where I'm at right now in my life.
People change.
I would pick somebody who I would like, okay, I'm gonna ride this thing out.
Right.
I would ride this thing out. Like, okay, we're gonna keep. There's exclusions, especially like within the church, that if infidelity is an issue,
Right.
it's rights for divorce.
Right.
It is rights for divorce, but I mean, obviously, I'm not in that position. But I would say I would write it out. I'd say, you know what, like especially if there's kids involved.
There's kids enough. 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think also you got to take into consideration, like, why did he cheat?
Right.
Yeah, like a lot of women want to deny that, like, sometimes it's because he's not having sex at home because
Right.
it's being taken away from him.
Right.
So he's going to go get it from whoever.
Let me ask you, if you really love your if you really love your boyfriend or husband at this point, right? And you're like, your legs is open to him all the time, 24/7, right? But then you have 2 kids to take care of. But what if you're so tired of taking those 2 or 3 kids all day and you clean it, and he's like, come on, babe, just fucking real quick. Would you be like, hey, all right, but don't mind me if I'm snoring during it. You can still enjoy it. Like, what? Would you still make the effort for him?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, I'm not in that situation.
Right. I'm just curious.
But I would say, yeah, because I wouldn't want my man to go cheat.
Right.
If you think about it like that.
Because a lot of women's like, oh fuck, fuck you. You know what I mean? Or whatever.
Yeah.
Like a lot of women's like I'm fucking tired. Because a lot of movies will even show that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Right.
think that is fucking up people in the head too. Like, oh, like yeah, whatever. Like, but how else do you want to keep the dude around? Because
Right.
we want to fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're married, like that's not. You're not allowed rights 24/7. Obviously,
No,
Of course,
not
of course.
24/7.
Yeah.
So-
but like that's a part of the
But you
thing.
got
Like,
a ring?
there's the
She's
sensuality
taking a
of
shit.
each other.
She's taking a shit. Really? You're gonna say no all the time?
Yeah.
She's taking a poop.
Look. It's like, don't even wipe your butt. I don't even gotta spit in your butthole, girl. Just let me just use the poo-poos.
The poopies.
Yeah, it's good. It's like a mudslide. You ever been to a mudslide? You ever been to the Tough Mudder?
Tough Mudder.
Tough Mudder. Spartan race?
Tough mudder right here, baby.
Yeah, Tough Mudder right here, man.
Well, how would you feel though? I'm curious too. Like if your wife and you have 2 kids and she goes
To fuck a guy?
to fuck a guy, but she
I don't think it's not the same though. No. Like,
I know it is not the same. It's
Oh,
not
no,
the same for guys,
I
right?
would,
Yeah.
I would be like, fuck this bitch.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have
wow.
no
Yeah.
mercy.
Well, you
I
have
don't give
2
a fuck.
kids though.
But here's how I look at it. I saw how the dynamic between like my dad and my mom.
People are different.
Fair, but still, I saw the dynamic of that, and I didn't like how that happened because, yeah, people are different. But if there's no love and there's like problems, you
Yeah.
can't really like if you force yourself to stay together, that's more harm to the child.
There's underlying
100%.
issues there.
That's what I'm saying. Because like I got fucked up because like my dad resented the fuck out of my mom, and I know that,
Right.
you know, and that was a huge problem. So like
Yeah.
I never saw him like love her. I can count on one. I was gonna say one finger because it was only one time. It was one time. The only time, one time where I saw any show of like love and care was when I think they like fucked like one time. I think they only had sex like one time. From what I know, I'm sure maybe they did a little bit. I don't know, but he like they were saying cute, like baby terms or like like terms like sweet talk in Korean. Only saw that one time, and I'm pretty sure because like something went right for that one day and they fucked. But besides that, they slept in separate rooms. Beds and floors.
Wow.
My dad slept on the top floor. My mom on the bottom floor. My mom slept on the top floor, right, master bedroom, and that's what I saw. That's all I saw.
How did that
and
affect you?
when they would talk, it was always he would always disrespect her, like to be, like loud. Where's the dinner? Like this and that, or like why can't you take? Why is Michael getting bad grades? That's your fault. Or like where's Diana? The daughter, like, why is he hanging out? Blaming her for everything. Like, he blamed her for everything that didn't even make any sense.
Did you do that? Did you do that when you started to, like, get girlfriends as you were older? Was
Yeah.
that was a response that you had?
I like not to the extreme with him,
yeah.
but it was still bad to where I would do something and it's like my fault, but their reaction is their fault. It's like, why are you reacting like that?
Yeah.
Like, how could you do that? Like, I didn't. Like here's an example.
It hurt you. They were
It
doing
hurt
it
me.
to you.
I'm like, what? This is just me. I fucked your sister. What? Who cares? No, I didn't actually do that. But it was as if I fucked somebody, their sister, and then they get mad, and I'm like, how could you yell at me? Hey, don't raise your voice. Wow, how rude.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm completely ignoring the fact that I fucked their sister.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Yeah.
That like
Yeah.
almost. But I didn't fuck anybody's sister
Yeah.
or anything. But
Right. Okay.
yeah. And then you go through so much shit, and it goes so bad. There's a point where you have to question yourself. You're like, is it really just them? I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't just them.
I want to say something back to what you asked.
I have another thing that I really wanted to say.
her-
Can we curve
have her
that?
answer
Can you
her-
remember that?
No, she's gonna. No, she's in the zone.
I'm gonna lose it.
Say it.
Okay,
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
I saw it in her eyes. It was
Yeah.
going away.
So
Like, you know when
yeah.
somebody's
Oh,
dying?
you can see it.
It was fading.
Yeah.
Like
Fading.
Avengers. It was
Yeah.
fading away.
Okay, go. You're gonna
Go.
forget.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the other thing to take into consideration also, hypothetically, if I was in the scenario that you gave me,
Yeah.
if I were to divorce my husband
Hmm.
for that, where would that leave me? I'd have to go back out,
Yeah.
find somebody brand
right.
new. I'm older. I got 3 kids already.
Yeah.
And you weren't working.
I'm not working.
Your
I'm gonna
resume
stay at
is
home.
like-
Yeah, you got to
See,
take
that's
into
what I'm saying.
consideration all those
That's
things.
why
But
my dad had a
for
condom in
women-
his glove box, which he did. I
Always.
found that one time, and I was like,
Yeah.
"That's weird."
But this is the thing though. Like for the women who you were talking about, that is like the woman that you wanted to empower, which is like it's okay to be a mom and be a wife, a good wife, and wanted to do all that. But one thing is that there's a lot of leverage that the men would have unless they don't make you, unless they're super rich and they did make you sign a prenup.
Right.
Then you have equal leverage. If anything, you have more than if somebody would sign a prenup. Yeah, then you have no leverage. So
Yeah.
I just want to watch out, ladies. That, you know what I mean? Because that is a thing. Like
Yeah.
so now, even if you didn't like it, of course, because in the beginning you were like, oh, I will, I'm signing up for marriage, so I want to make sure he check all the boxes, not all this. But once I feel like humans, especially men with so much money and power, they would at a point, if they know that they got you, then it's like they would be more prone to, not that they would, but more prone to like do whatever they want to, especially when a man is, in a high power status in society, like at
Yeah.
home for sure. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of women too
Right.
that purposely go out and want, the 6-figure, 6-foot
Right,
tall
100%,
guy.
yeah.
I'm not interested in that. Like, that's not
Right.
my realm.
Right.
So when
women-
you say that, because I hear women say that, right?
yeah,
triggered.
yeah.
No, whoa, hold on a minute.
Oh, no,
I'm taller than you. I'm not triggered. No,
Okay.
anyways, I know. But when girls say that though, how much do you mean that?
What do you mean? Do they actually?
Oh, actually,
say
no, I
that?
saw your
Or do
boyfriend.
they
You do mean
mean
that. Yeah, you do mean that. No, but even though you have a boyfriend who's not that though, but when you do say that, do you mean that with 100% like, oh, they don't like it's cool if they're not, But if you saw somebody that had all that, like you would be yes.
Well, like you said,
But you don't need that though. You're saying
you don't know. And it's also like, do I want those problems? Do I want to constantly be worrying if he's like
so
sleeping
hot
with the
and
secretary?
See, oh, right?
That's a lot of stress on. I'm like, no, probably not.
Because some girls be saying like I swear to God, dude, I feel like they want to fatten us up to make us be like, hey, you ain't gonna fuck nobody.
Absolutely.
That's a real
for
thing,
sure.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is your wife like that?
Sometimes I wonder if she does do that. So
That's why you have high blood pressure, because she feeds you
yes.
ice cream.
She
She was hoping
fucking
you'd be
ice
fat,
cream.
but you have good
High
genetics.
diabetes.
So
Diabetes.
you're not getting fat, but you're dying.
No, yes.
Which
slow.
Well, she wasn't trying to kill you.
She-
She just wanted you to look
She is.
unhealthy.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? Because she's Korean.
Yes, she's very schemy.
That's right.
No, but I think no, but my wife likes a person who she was always attracted to like bros or like people that kind of we talked about this, like people that go getters, like people
Yeah.
who that is
Yeah.
not super complacent. But
That's most women.
yeah, most women.
Yeah.
That like that. But the woman that we were talking about earlier, when my like some woman likes to fatten their men up, and so that they have all the control and can go do
you
stuff.
got the leverage there.
Yeah, but what you were saying earlier, I don't go out to look for people who are like 6 feet tall or all this.
I just mean it's not a requirement.
But there's a sacrifice though.
There's a big sacrifice.
Yeah, huge sacrifice. Yeah.
Yeah.
For either side.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
But could you? Oh, so that's my thing. I'm sure your boyfriend is good looking. Actually, I can't say that. I'm just saying that to to be
Yes.
yeah, he's a no. But what would you sacrifice? Because I don't know how he looks like. But what would you sacrifice? Like
He
height,
looks like he beats
money?
people up. Does he do MMA?
He's a boxer.
Okay, because I saw him and he had like the curled shoulders and like he had the gallon, and I was like, does he have cauliflower ear? Not really, but it looks like his ears got punched a couple times. So he's a boxer.
He's a boxer, yeah.
Yeah, and you like
Yeah,
that
he's
because
a
you like
boxer.
that's the masculine energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How
makes
old
sense.
is he?
It makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah. it's
How
lining
old is
up.
he?
Well, I'm 25.
Oh, okay, you guys are the same.
We're the
How'd you
same
guys
age.
meet?
On Instagram.
Oh, that's nice.
Did he
Yeah.
slide into the DMs?
We knew each. Oh gosh. Okay, so this is funny too, because this is the first time I'm really like openly talking about having a boyfriend too, because on TikTok, the guys are constantly like, "Are you single? Do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a boyfriend?" Guys trying to slide in the DMs all the time, and I'm like, because I'm a private person, but I understand it's important. Like people want to know.
Sorry, no, I just realized my posture was horrible. I was like, what the fuck? This is
He
disgusting.
said, "Is that me?"
Your posture. Look at me. I'm fucking melting into the chair, dude. I'm a fucking glob right now.
To answer your question, I did.
Wait, hold on.
High
I want to
blood pressure
sidebar
block.
this.
You
Wait.
slid in?
Yeah.
What did you say?
I wanted to know he followed a band that's like my favorite band.
And you saw that.
And I saw that.
And it's a band that nobody really knows.
They don't. I mean,
That's
they're-
fucking why.
Yeah, and I said, "Hey, do you actually listen to them?" And he goes, "Yeah." And like I had tickets to go. I bought 2 tickets, but I didn't know who I was gonna go with. But I didn't say that.
Sorry.
I said, "Hey, do you like?" I said, "Hey, do you like this band?" He goes, "Yeah, they're really cool." And I was like, over the next like week or so, I was just like kind of dropping hints. And then he was like, "Hey, do you want to go to that concert together?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's perfect. Actually, as a matter of fact, I already have 2 tickets."
Yeah, well, I did. Like, my work gave them to me.
Wait, you bought him just for you and him, possibly?
No, I didn't know him.
Oh, okay.
That's why I asked him, because I already had the ticket, and I was like, "Oh, that would be cool. Maybe if he actually knows them." Because I was gonna take like my cousin or somebody who didn't actually know the band. It wasn't me. Honestly, it wasn't me. Like, oh, I want to go on a date. I thought he was cute. I thought he was like, we had followed each other for a good amount of time,
like,
and just
like
said
6 months.
like 8 months, 6 months, 8
That's a pretty good amount
months.
of time. So you get to see like, huh?
It was enough. Like we would respond and like have like small conversations about stuff. But yeah, he actually, he picked up what I was doing.
Finally, right? Because you were dropping the hands.
I know he knew. He was just, he didn't come in hot with it. He didn't come in like, okay, let's go. As soon as I asked him, hey,
He was like, let me play it cool, man.
He knows what he's doing.
Because I'm a boxer. I just roll with the punches.
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
so yeah, I think it's you got to go back and forth.
I wonder if I saw your TikTok now. Because wait, did you go viral like maybe like a year or 2 ago?
No, I'm very new, like 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, I just started.
Because I remember like I think another woman too that I think it was Latin.
Oh, there's another, yeah.
And that was like super hard on like, man, fuck these bitches. Like it's all about fucking getting a good man, being a good wife. And I remember she was getting like a lot of hate. I wonder if.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was like a while ago.
She's
I remember.
great. Yeah, she's awesome. She puts out great content.
That's really nice.
She sounds older.
No, she's 26. If it's the person I'm thinking of.
I don't know who. I
You
just
guys should
remember this
collab
one.
and just be together and be like bitches need to stop in house.
That's why I love TikTok.
Have you read the Bible?
Yeah, she's a Christian. She's a Christian.
Damn, dude, that's your long lost sister.
Yeah, she's
You
a
gotta
Christian.
be like Yas Queen each other.
Yes.
Yas Queen.
Yeah, if she's watching, Allie, the real femme sapien, we got to do something because it's the word is getting out, especially for like younger women. They're,
because they're afraid though. I have friends that are girls that are afraid to say anything remotely close to what you're saying because of the backlash.
They get so much hate.
Yeah, even if the backlash could even come from other women that may think the same thing, but they feel like they have to say that.
Right.
So it's like you guys are kind of like in Star Wars, you're the rebels against the Empire.
Yeah, man. You guys are the rebels, dude.
Yeah, I've made, and that's why I think the TikTok thing did so well for me, like mentally, because I was able to find other women who actually agreed with what I was saying. I wasn't like constantly being
awesome,
rejected. Dude. Like I have a friend, I met her from TikTok, and now we're like real life friends. We're like, hey, she's from here, she moved out of state, and we're just. Our jokes are different because we understand, like, oh, I'm so oppressed.
So they don't take it personally.
No.
And then, like, your other friend who's not your friend anymore.
Yeah.
Like, because also, even when you're making jokes, it's a joke. You're not fucking around. I mean, you are fucking around, too. Maybe with an element of truth in it. But I think that's great. Like, I think that, I think that you, was it cutting out a lot?
No, just a little bit.
Oh, just a little bit? Okay, yeah. So I when people come into their truth, regardless of what it is, that's when you filter out the ones that aren't really like down for you, and you come to who you really are. You live more authentically, and life gets, even if you're gonna get some haters, that comes with the truth of whatever it is, right? Yeah. And then I'm sure some people were like, "Oh, you think that?" Like they just group you into a bubble of, well, if you think like it should be like that, then you're like Trump supporting or far right, you hate yourself. Like I'm sure you've gotten comments like that. Instead of people are like, I wonder what she has to say, or like, why does she think this?
Right.
Whether they agree with it or not.
And it's people who like, critique how I speak or the words that I chose, and it's like, okay, well, you can do that too. You have as much freedom as I do to make a TikTok and start talking about what I'm talking about. Like we all have the right to do that. So yeah, you're gonna get it with the territory. And I was ready for it. I told you, I've known about this, and it just got to a point where I was just so tired of men just getting so much hate, and like there's so many good guys out there that are just invisible.
Wow. Yo, you're an ally to the men.
Oh my god,
she's an ally to the men, dude.
Hell yeah, man.
Can I tell you a thing real quick? I like that you are like, you do empathize with men, because I feel like there's so little to none of that going on right now. And it's causing a lot of mental struggles within men,
right?
Emotionally too, and like men kill themselves.
Yeah, and I get a lot of men that ask me for help on stuff, and what I say is like, I'm a woman, I'm not like a relationship dating coach. I'm just like sharing my perspective. But if you're a man and like you need help, you need to find a community. People are like, how do I become a better man? I say like, my best answer, because for a long time I'm like, I'm not a man. I can't guide you and show you that perspective. I don't come from that experience. But I say like, find a mentor, somebody you really respect, has a life that you would like to have, develop those characteristics, figure out how they got to that point. And I think men need to have a community. That goes back to like the emotional side. You can't just unload all your emotions onto your girl, onto your woman, onto your wife, because that's not healthy either.
Unless they're rich.
Unless
you're rich and they have a big penis, they're 6 foot tall and taking care of the family, and they don't eat a lot of pizza, and they give you foot massages all the way to the toe. And then you could take it out on your women sometimes.
Yeah. So Jason basically said hit woman. That's what he said. Yeah. No, don't do
punch
that. Don't do
her right
that.
in the face. No,
punch her in the pussy. No, don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here.
That's a way to
bite his dick off while you're at it. Switch it up. Equal rights, equal fights. You guys should. You know what? We should just all rip off each other's genitals and just be like, let's just all dogs go to heaven's a great movie. So, it's a cartoon. Anyways, you want to put some last things that on your mind, just whatever, just for the people, for everybody.
You guys want to stay up to date on what I'm doing, what I'm talking about. It's always changing because there's times where I'm going to be wrong too, And I know people are going to call me out. Oh, you said you would never believe that. Well, you know what?
People change.
I did.
Accountability. Boom, right there.
Yeah.
I love the accountability of that.
And also people change, dude.
Yeah.
Is it okay to have new information and grow?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
There's a thing. Jason's been going through an evolution too. So like the change thing is very like passionate for him.
Yeah,
right?
dude.
That's why he said change. So why people change? I was like, damn, dog, you saying it?
No, I sort of got
like
to think about it. But that is true, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because you could say a thing and you make a mistake, like your belief. Like
I'm sure you guys get that all the time, right?
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I'm pretty much. the
Oh,
same
about
person.
people saying
Or
you said
people
one
are
thing.
are the first ones to remind you, like,
Well, not so much unless I'm dating somebody, because they're around me all the time.
yeah.
So they're like, you said something else, and I was like,
No, I mean more like doing comedy.
And most people don't care anyways.
yeah, the comedy
Most
thing,
people-
they kind of just. I know it looks all badass what we do, but most people don't give a fuck about us
Most people don't care about anybody.
or anybody
Yeah.
in general.
They just
don't
want to
care.
say a thing to fucking you
That's true.
oh,
Yeah,
it
and
feels
that's
good.
why I think last thing is whoever's listening to this, look, you may be afraid to live your true life, but even though people are coming at Sammy, it's like they're not really coming at you in person either. It's just the internet because it's just I'm bored, whatever, blah blah. Right? That's what I learned
Just trying to
from
hurt.
the thing, just to
Yeah.
hurt because they're
So
hurting
they
and they're
feel good,
bored,
yes.
and
Right.
and to justify their behavior and whatever, all this shit. And who knows? We may be wrong about everything. I don't fucking know, but we just talking to talk and have a discourse and
That's right.
conversation, right? So that's
I'm
what
gonna
it
tell you
is.
something. I love.
So you want to plug in?
I like this podcast room.
All right. Would you like to plug in your?
Yeah, guys.
socials?
TikTok is where I'm at S Jimenez with 4 Z's at the end. I'm sure it'll be somewhere.
Wow, way to make
there.
things really hard
Is
on people.
he menace?
I know. I'm sorry. The one I need is taken, and it's a mess right now.
Hey,
But
we
it'll
should
get
we should report all her videos and get her
fixed.
cancel
Yeah,
and
I'm
stuff.
down.
I'm reporting it right now.
Yeah.
recording it right
It's
now.
done.
Anyways, thank you for coming here.
Thank you.
Jason. Thank you for
Thank you, man.
being a
Thank
ghost
you
was nice.
guys, Yeah.
that came in your Casper who became a
Hey
human
man,
being.
I'm a ghost, baby.
He was actually in
Ghost-
here the whole time, and all of a sudden he was like, whoa, and he did that because that's what Taiwanese language sounds like. So.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. All right, guys. This has been another episode. Oh, where am I? Where's the camera? Guys, this has been another episode of the Setbreaker Podcast. And until then, I will see you on the next episode. Bye.